and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name is Jason Newland, and this is Whisper Wednesday. Whisper Wednesday, Wednesday, oh whisper, whisper, whisper Wednesday. Yep. So, please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. It is Wednesday the 29th of October 2025. It's 1:19. I've got my window open. It's proper raining out there. It sounds like someone's downstairs doing some building work. And there are some background sounds, so if you need things to be exactly like silent, might not be the recording for you. It sounds fairly quiet. I've got Vinny is in the bedroom asleep. So what I've done is I've closed the bedroom door. I've closed the living room door. So I can't hear what's going on outside in the hallway downstairs. So there's a lot of banging. I don't know what it is. When I say banging, sounds like someone opening and closing the door continuously. But I would say, it's just an opinion, I would say with a whisper recording is the ASMR side of it, which would maybe also include background sounds. If I'm honest, and you know how I don't like being honest, if I could do this outside without getting wet and without the microphone being disturbed, so I could get the ambience and get the sound of the rain, I'd quite enjoy doing that, because I love the sound of the weather when I'm not in it. I love the sound of the rain, like really hard rain, when I'm indoors. Or if I'm outdoors in a tent. That's the only thing I liked about tenting when I was a kid. Because we used to go to Wales, like most years for a while. And they'd all be off doing something. And I remember as well, on this one occasion, I was inside lying down on my bed in the tent. And it was raining it was Wales, it was raining really hard. And that sound of the rain bouncing off the top of the tent made me feel so incredibly relaxed. Like super relaxed. And it's weird because when I think back to when I was a kid, I was not a relaxed child. I wasn't. I was very uptight, tense, highly strung, I suppose, at times. I think maybe that's why I spend so much time watching television or reading, because I could zone out everything else that was going on. I got this memory, and I must have been about 10, maybe 11, maybe 10, I don't know, 10 or 11, and I'm sitting in my bed, or sitting up in my bed, reading a book, and I hear my dad's voice from the garden shout out, "Jason!" Okay, but it didn't sound like that, but he's calling me. So I go over to the window, because I could see the garden from the window. He said, "What? Come down here and join in." I was like, oh, because it was a hot summer's day, and they were in the garden, and it's like I was happy doing what I was doing. I didn't want to sit in the sun. Never liked sitting in the sun. I don't dislike the sun, don't get me wrong, but I burn very easily, and when I was very, very young, I'd play out for hours and I'd get blisters, like I burned so bad, and I never really wanted to go through that again. So I had to be careful about, I wasn't very good at monitoring myself because I was, young, and nobody knew about the blistering. Maybe my brothers remembered, I don't know. I don't think they probably cared, but I didn't want to get like sunburn like that. But I still always got sunburn, not to that extent, because I had adults looking after me, unlike when I was very little. But I'd still I quite like the peeling, if I'm honest. Once you get over the actual sunburn, the peeling of the skin, oh, beautiful. Very beautiful, I loved it. And there's a weird thing, when you're outside in the sun, and you go inside and everything's dark. It's like, what? Don't stare at the sun, people. It's not good. Yeah, I was enjoying myself reading. I need to get my eyes tested so I can go back to reading again. Because at the moment I can't. My eyes just won't really focus the way they did. It's just a case of getting it done, Maybe beginning of next year I'll do it. It's not something I can really keep putting off. It's a trip into town, and plus the expense, so I kind of, I have to save up. Maybe I think I'm going to need three pairs of glasses. One for reading, one for television, or one for distance rather, and one for perhaps a computer screen. But we'll see. I definitely. The thing is, my reading, my close vision isn't too bad actually. But what I end up getting is a bit of eye strain. My distance is ridiculous. If I look in the mirror and take my glasses off, I become good looking. It's amazing. La 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 la. Especially if I strip off, my body becomes, I'm like muscly and slim. Yeah. The shoe shop didn't think much of it, but what have I got? I've just been going through and putting my name into Google and just checking. just seeing where I am, if I'm anywhere. And I've not really done myself much service by swapping around and changing things. So yeah, kind of, if I can try and stick to the same process day in, day out, because there's a lot of links that just don't work, or that go to the wrong places. And it's kind of strange because at the moment I have, like, my website traffic has really increased a lot. Which, you know, I'm not complaining. It's just, I don't know why it's increased so much. I don't know. And I've only been monitoring it for how many days have I been monitoring it for? I think a couple of weeks, maybe less. Maybe less. Let's have a look. 19. Apply. Oh, yeah, it's about, I think about 2 weeks. Just going back to look. I'm going to have to take Vinny out for a walk. And I really don't want to. I don't want to. Time really does go, doesn't it? So I set up the Google Ads, not ads, the Google Analytics. I thought it was just a few days ago, but it's longer than that. Like, more like 3 weeks ago. I'm thinking of maybe doing a Saturday boxing episode, like on a Saturday, where I talk about boxing, like Saturday's boring boxing. That might be boring. I mean, it will be boring for some people. It won't be boring for me. I don't know what you think, if you think it's a good idea. Okay, so that's amazing. I literally thought I'd been doing it. I've been having the analytics on Google for about maybe 5 or 6 days, but it's actually been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 days, and today. So this is a 25th day. So that's amazing. And according to this, was it Wednesday? Okay, yesterday was the most views. Yesterday, and it was on Monday and Tuesday. I mean, today it's 1:30, so there's plenty of the day to go. So what I've been trying to do is tidy up my website. So I'll give you an idea what I've been doing just as an example. So I'm just going to go to the navigation bar and change what I need to change. Okay, that's fine. So I've got 31. So I'm going through and adding. I've already got I've got playlists for all the Let Me Bore You to Sleep recordings in groups of 50. And there's actually the playlist which you can look and it's embedded. Well, what I'm now doing is putting the individual recordings in groups of 50. So I'll tell you what I mean by example. So for example, it's no music 1 to 50. Click on that. Nope, that's not the one. 1 to 50, Let Me Bore You to Sleep. And there's a list of all the recordings all the way down to 1 to 50. I guess obviously. And now I've built I've built a page for each one up to number 35. So I know it's not many, but I've still got a lot to do. So there'll be a link from each one to a page which will have Let Me Bore You to Sleep, each page on there, which is pretty cool, I think. But I do have to check something because it's looking weird. Why is it showing monthly recordings? Why is it showing that? I know why, because I haven't taken it. Design footer. I need to take away the links in footer as well. Ah, damn it. There's a proper mess. Get rid of that. Every time I make a new page, it adds that page into the menu and into the footer, which just makes a mess of the page. That's why I should just stick to one website or one website host. But you try telling me, honestly. I just don't seem to listen. I annoy myself. Okay, so I've done it. So that's now sorted. So go back to pages. Yeah, not a lot really gone on here. Still feeling a bit tired, but that's just the medication really. I got this thing now, so I used to take my medication at night, which is quite a good time to take it when it makes you tired. That's what the doctor recommended, years ago. But now the medication's been increased. I take it in the morning and at night. The same amount both times. Because I figured that would be better for evening me out, which it has been. It's been about 2 months I think now since it's been increased. However, I'm waking up tired. Thanks to Vinny. Vinny woke me up at 3:10 this morning. Now went to bed just after 10. So it wasn't a late night or anything, but I don't know. Well, I do know what he wanted a treat. He refused to eat his dinner. He wanted a treat. It's frustrating. And he was just standing on me and then like whining. So I thought, oh, he must need the toilet. But no, didn't need the toilet. Didn't want to go anywhere near the front door. I mean, that's weird, isn't it? He's literally got a sweet tooth. I know it's not sweets, but I've never woken up in the middle of the night demanding that I give myself some chocolate. So yeah, I'm kind of having a bit more naps than before, maybe. But it's still better than how I was feeling. So yeah, I try and make use of my time when I've got when I'm kind of a more alert. I try not to. I don't generally rather make a recording when I'm feeling tired. Although sometimes I do yawn. But there's something about a microphone that just makes me. That was just coincidental, makes me yawn. No, that was just a fake yawn. It wasn't. It's been like that since like 20 years ago nearly, when I first started making recordings, or even when I used to do live sessions with people. I'd yawn. I don't know, just a natural, I guess, a bit like cleansing my palate maybe. But instead of, what do people do to cleanse their palate? Drink some wine, eat some dirt, I don't know. But I just yawn. So yeah, it's weird that October's nearly over. It just it doesn't. I mean, it's a long month. It's 31 days, but it still seems to have gone by quite quickly. Did I tell you I got a new hat? A new hat. And it covers my ears. Oh, it's so good. I've had it about... I probably had it about a year, but it feels like a week. I don't know, I think I got it last week. And ever since I've had it, I don't take it off. Apart from in the shower. Because that'd be ridiculous. No, I don't wear it indoors, but when I go out, I wear it. Now normally I look forward to the summer. Now I'm not, because it's going to be blimmin' hot. My head's going to be so hot because it's got fur inside. I would take it off. No, I don't want to take it off. I love my new hat. I love it, I love it, I love it. I have had a hat like that before, and I'm pretty certain it was a camouflaged one. Yeah, I think so. Birds kept flying into it. I do wonder though if I'm wearing it now when it's not. I mean, it was cold, but it was just my ears. The rest of me, I'm fine. so I started wearing socks. I had to buy myself some socks. Because what happened is when I broke my foot, I stopped wearing socks because I couldn't get them over my toes, and I ended up spending months and months without socks. And then I hurt my foot again, and I think partly because I wasn't wearing socks. I didn't have that level. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? It sounds like that level of protection on my heel, and the door shut and jammed my heel. So I didn't wear socks all through the winter, the summer or the winter, and then I got used to it, not wearing socks. And I think I spent like a whole year without wearing socks. But I think during the winter I started wearing socks. And then I stopped again. Because basically I take them off when I'm indoors. Because I think it's good to have the freedom and the air on my feet so you don't overheat. There's a little poem there, not very romantic. It's not really a Valentine's poem, is it? Yeah, that'd be weird, sending someone that, oh, you got a Valentine's card, what did it say? Something about feet overheating. I don't know. Okay. I've sent Valentine's cards. I have. Never received one. That I remember anyway. I don't think I've ever received a Valentine's card in my life. It's crazy, isn't it? So next year I welcome Valentine's cards to be sent to me. I'll be very pleased, very excited, very horny, no, very, very welcome to have Valentine's cards. It's not weird, is it? It's not like I'm asking for lingerie. I remember wearing a bra once, and it was really weird because my girlfriend at the time was laughing, but she wasn't, and I thought, why are you laughing? I just wanted to know what it felt like, that's all. It's not like I was hiding in a cupboard, and, you know what I mean, like she was there with me. She was laughing. Apparently I ruined the Sunday dinner, but, you know, we live, we learn. Her parents didn't like me at all after that. So I'm putting the bra on. I'm upstairs, of course I'm upstairs in her bedroom. Well, one of the bedrooms. And look, when she said go upstairs and try on a bra, because we talked about it, it was just like she wanted to know what it was like to wear men's underwear. And I said, well, okay, because I tried the knickers on and they were like proper tight, so that was a bit too constraining. And it was just a men's clothes thing. It was nothing weird. And she said, you go and try the bra on, I'll be up there in a minute, 'cause she had to go to the toilet. And she's calling me, so I to see me. She said, well, you better get out of their room then. So it wasn't even her bra. It was her dad's. So I'm there. This is what really happened. So I'm in the bedroom with her. In fact, no, I think she was at my place. No, I'm in her place. There was no parents involved. I don't mean involved, but oh, that's taken a weird turn. No, there was no. It was just her and me. And okay, let's go back to make this nice. I used to wear women's clothes when I was a kid. Does that make sense now? Okay. I need to explain that, do I? Right, when I did drama at school, I used to wear women's clothes. It was hardly ever needed. But I took the opportunity because I enjoyed it. It was funny, it was fun. And I liked getting dressed up. I liked the makeup and the wigs and all that stuff. I just did, the dresses. So I just took advantage of the situation to dress up. That's it. But I never got a chance to try on a bra. It wasn't that kind of school. And yeah, anyway, my girlfriend was laughing at me, and I thought, oh, don't body shame just because my boobies aren't very big, because I was a lot slimmer back then. And she said, no, you're putting it on wrong. I said, I thought the cups go at the front. She said, they do. Well, I'm not putting it on wrong then, am I? She said, yeah. I said, what? I said, no, this is not how it works. I know which side goes which way. She said, no, let me show you. So she showed me how to do it. And she said, we don't put it on that way. We don't reach back and do the back up from the, bend our arms back. So wrap it around your tummy. She probably said stomach. Backwards first, so do the strap up. And then turn it round. Put your arms through and then just put it up over the baubles. And I was like, okay, that's not what I've seen in the movies. She said, what kind of movies were they? I said, should we talk about canoes now? She said, what? I said, can we talk about canoes? Canoes? Why do I want to talk about canoes? I said, I don't know, I thought you said something about liking the idea of going on a canoe trip, and you wanted to know if I'd ever been in a canoe. No. Why, have you been in a canoe? I said, yeah. I used to be in the Sea Cadets, and probably once or twice a year would go and do canoeing. So I had to get trained. The first thing they train you is how to capsize and how to get back up again. And so I did canoeing, went sailing, all kinds of stuff like that. And she said, no, I don't really fancy that. I said, why not? She said, well, I mean, I can swim. I said, I can't. She said, you went canoeing and you can't swim. I said, well, it's not that I can't, I just won't. I don't want to. What do you mean you don't want to? I said, I kind of can to a degree, but I don't see the point. It's a bit like jogging. I can jog, but why would I want to? It's a bit like standing and just staring at a wall. I can do that. It's within my grasp to stand and just stare at a wall. But why would I want to? sit down in a settee, on a settee or a chair, and have a saucepan on my head, pretending to be a Dalek or something. I mean, why? What's the point of that? You know, unless there's other people about to annoy. Exterminate, exterminate. You know, then it's fun. But if I'm on my own, and she's like, and she just walked away, which was good because I managed to distract her from what she was thinking about, what she was talking about. And in the meantime, I've also distracted myself about what it was I was trying to distract her from. It's weird, isn't it? So the distraction technique really worked. Because I genuinely don't know why I was trying to distract her. I mean, we were talking about, what, lawnmowers or something. So yeah, I don't know. So what is it, Wednesday today? Just trying to think what's going on for the rest of the week, which is as well the rest of the month. It was Halloween on Friday. Thursday is, I got my, I don't know what do we call them, flashback. Wednesday or Thursday. I've forgotten already. My memory. Oh, Thursday throwbacks. So that's tomorrow, and it is TV shows of 1981. That should be super exciting. Do you ever notice that sometimes it sounds like it's raining way harder outside? I don't know why I said outside, but it sounds like it's raining hard. And then when you go out in it, it's not. It's just hardly anything. And other times it sounds like it's not really raining much at all, but it is raining quite hard. And other times when it sounds like it's raining hard, and it really is. I just don't enjoy getting wet. That's why I didn't like canoeing. I mean, canoes, when they used about 500 years ago, we don't need canoes anymore. What's the difference between a canoe and a kayak? Isn't it just the same thing? Yeah, I didn't like canoeing. The one, we went on to Norfolk Broads. I think it was just a day out with the Sea Cadets. And I remember we was in a boat that was close to the water, so it was, I think it was not a speedboat, but it had an engine, wasn't going fast, and I put my hands in the water, and it felt lovely. And there was two senses of pleasure there. One was the sense of the water on my fingers, and the other sense was knowing that the day was coming to an end and we would be travelling home soon. That was always my favourite time when we got out, they're coming back. I remember when I was in the Sea Cadets again, we went on I don't know if it was for a whole week, but it was maybe 5 days, maybe just a weekend, but I think it was for a whole week. We all went away and were camping, and was we camping, or maybe we stayed in a military place, I don't know, but we were travelling through the fields and all kitted up and all that stuff. Oh yeah, we stayed in like barracks. I don't know what kind of barracks, if it was an army barracks that they rented. Maybe it was army barracks, navy barracks, I don't know. But we were there. Wow, I just remembered. I'd not forgotten about it, but I'd not thought about it really. Because I remember someone put toothpaste in my ears when I was asleep. I remember I was so angry. I was shouting. I said three things. Firstly, I want to know who put toothpaste in my ears. Secondly, or was it 3 things or 2 things? No, yeah, 3 things. I want to know who put toothpaste in my ears. I want everybody here to know. Don't you ever do that again to me. And thirdly, that is not how you use toothpaste. So I didn't like that. I've never been into the whole boy, young man kind of tricky stuff, you know, playing pranks on each other and messing things up. I mean, I've seen that in action as a younger man as well, where blokes will literally do anything as a prank, including even trying to ruin someone's relationship because it's funny, you know. And I never really into that. No, never. Wasn't really my thing. It was not my thing, baby. Oh yeah, so this barracks, I remember the last day there, and it was a Sunday morning, or maybe it was a Saturday morning, I don't know. It was the morning anyway, and I had cornflakes and some milk, and those cornflakes and milk with some sugar and a cup of tea was the most tastiest cornflakes I've ever eaten. And you know why? Because we were going home. It was just a hard week. I didn't enjoy it. I don't know why. Why I even got involved in that whole Sea Cadet thing. I had a laugh, admittedly, but it was a waste of time mainly. For me, I mean. It's not like I didn't want to be. Some of the people wanted to go into the Navy, and I didn't want to. The main obstacle for me was water. My swimming level is that of something that can't swim very well. I'm trying to think. cadets would get together and they'd rent out this private swimming pool outside in the summer. I went a couple of times, and it's the same old crap, like jumping on each other, pushing each other's heads under the water. That's just not me. It's not. Yeah, it just wasn't my thing. So I didn't really understand all that, because I didn't even have that with my older brothers. They weren't really like that. I don't think. No. Actually, really, when I was little, both my brothers, however annoying they were, they did look out for me. And they didn't, because I was so tiny compared to them. Like my oldest brother was 4 years older than me, which is a lot when you're a little kid. And he was tall, very tall. My other brother was 2 years older than me, and he was a lot bigger than me. So they kind of, it was more verbal than physical generally, because they knew that it'd be easy to hurt me, really, because I guess I was so fragile, maybe. I don't know if I was, but I was little anyway. Plus, I think in the early days, we all cared about each other. Like back in, before the age of 7, me and my 2 brothers, that's what we had. And then, when I was 7 and my other brother was 9, the other brother was 11, it's a different life. They were going to different schools to me. I didn't, it was just a different, we weren't all living in the same room anymore. So I was spending all our time together. My oldest brother didn't have to look after me anymore, because he used to look after both me and my other brother. When I was really little, he used to look after us all weekend. And he was only about, 7 or 8 years old himself. Which is amazing. I saw him as an adult. I didn't see him, probably because he was quite tall as well. So even at 7, he probably looked about 11, height-wise. So I think he was about 6'5", I think, when he was an adult. I've got some really tall relatives. That's the thing. Both my uncles, well, one's not here anymore, but both of those were tall and slim. My dad is not short, but he was taller than me. I don't think he is anymore, but he was just under 6 foot and stocky. And then my uncles had kids, and they were even taller than them. They were like 6'6", at least, both of them. So we had tall adults. Both my aunties were tall and slim. And my nan was slim. She wasn't tall, but my granddad was slim as well. And I looked at my dad and I did wonder, how come the whole family is slim? It wasn't that he was not slim, but he was big, And my granddad was probably about 5'8", 5'9", 5'5". There wasn't a lot of height difference between the two of us, really. And then I met my uncle Anthony, who was my nan's brother. And he looked like an older version of my dad. Same body type. It's everything. Stocky, like heavy, like, just strong. And he was in his 80s then, but he was a lump. And I thought, wow, that's my dad. But, in 30 years or whatever, and this is in 2000s, so my dad would have been my age. So yeah, so that was, he's long gone now, but so my dad would have been, like, yeah, so it'd be, the difference between me and my dad was a difference between him and my uncle. Well, my nan's, we called him Uncle Tony. Was it Tony? Anthony. But it was my nan's brother. Here's a weird thing. I can't remember what's a weird thing now. It's gone out of my head. Is it about him? Uncle Anthony. She had a lot of brothers and sisters, my nan. I think she had about 10. And one of her sisters and one of her brothers was ginger. Because Irish. The Irish gene goes back for probably centuries. Maybe thousands of years, I don't know, with my nan's side. And so there's that Celtic side. So there was a lot of gingery hair hiding around. It skipped a generation and popped up like 50, 60 years later. And suddenly I got three cousins that I know of that got ginger kids. And everyone's looking around like, how did this happen? Well, I don't think they are, but everyone else is. They're probably just happy to have a baby. See, I was partly ginger when I was a kid. And as an adult, I had a ginger beard. Yep. Oh yeah, my Uncle Anthony. So I met him. I didn't meet that many of my nan's relatives. There's only really 2 that I remember meeting. And they were all very elderly when I met them. But Uncle Anthony was the one that I saw a few times because he used to stay at my nan's, and I'd be there at the same time. And he had an Irish accent. So I just assumed he was born in Ireland. Irish accent. Both his parents are Irish. He was born in Ireland. As far as it just made sense. But my nan, she said no. Both of her parents came over to London from Ireland to work, because there was no work where they were. Her dad worked on the roads, and her mum, I don't know, put it in a factory somewhere. And they raised all the kids, had the kids, and raised them all in London. I think in East London, and then moved to North young Jason, eat your cake, have a little cup of tea, and just take your time. We've got at least 20 minutes to talk about this. I said I haven't allotted a time for it. I'm excited now. And she said, oh, okay. I don't know if you can hear that outside in the garden. And she said, what did she say? And I said, come on, Nan. Please tell me. She said, okay. So my Nan said, we were all grew up being around Irish parents. And also, so that was kind of our first accent, really. And we're also living in an Irish area. So we had lots of relatives around us that were also Irish. Cousins and all that stuff, uncles and aunts. We went to a school that was a Catholic school that had a lot of Irish kids in it. And then Uncle Anthony, he married an Irish girl when he left school. So he lived with her and her family. So basically he spent his whole life, apart from, when he was on his own, when he was older, being around Irish people. So he had an Irish accent. My Nan had a London accent. So it's just the way it goes. It's just like he was he had a proper Irish accent. It was no London, no English accent at all, just proper Irish. But that's, I guess if you're just around people speaking with a certain accent, it's going to rub off on you. It's like although saying that, I've noticed that there's some accents just won't change. I've met people like Scottish accents or someone from Liverpool, and they've lived in London or in the south for maybe 30 years and their accent's still as strong as it ever was. Maybe they speak a little bit slower, but sometimes some of them have said to me in the past that when they go back to Newcastle or Scotland or wherever it is, their friends and family back home tell them that they sound like a Londoner, where they sound nothing like a Londoner. It's weird, isn't it? It's crazy. I've still got to take Vinny out for a walk. I can't believe he's basically been in that room, in the bedroom, on the bed, asleep. He clearly didn't want to get out because he seems happy enough. It's weird. Or maybe it's not weird, but I just want Vinny to be happy. He's like a priority. I know, it should be a priority, but I want him to be happy. My main job, apart from looking after myself and making these podcasts, is keeping Vinny safe and making sure his needs are met. Without getting all serious and stuff, I just want him to be happy, and sometimes he's a miserable old git. He's never satisfied. But on that note, I'm going to go have something to eat. I will be back again tomorrow, so I want to just say a big thank you for listening. remember to be kind to yourself, because you do deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe.